Well, good evening, adventurers. It is Wednesday again, and we are going to play Dungeons and Dragons. If you're here for something else, then I don't know what to tell you. Um, but last week we ended in the Vanthampur mansion. Two of you are exploring the upper levels where Thalmara and her two sons' bedrooms reside. Although it seems like nobody's home except the hired guards at the moment, which you have haunted away for the evening, drinking some invisibility potions to penetrate the upper levels of the Vanthampur villa and explore the private quarters of the Vanthampur families. The other two of you meandered down into the dungeons below the villas, or at least some section of the sewer systems that Thalmara Vanthampur has quartered off for her own private uses. I believe that Sylvie, as you were pilfering through Thalmara's desk in her study, you found one of the drawers to be locked, and as you were attempting to pick the lock to discover whatever the contents of the drawers might have been inside, a suit of armor in the corner of the room lit up with an orange glow and is now animated and seems to be coming your way, probably for a friendly hug. It's quite often what animated armors do, I believe. They just give out warm hugs. This one will be especially warm, yes, because the suit of armor seems particularly hellish. You don't have to select your token. We're going to have two separate initiatives going for a little bit here. So why don't you just roll initiative for me, though? Actually, pop this bad boy where you can see him.
Oh my. It's already started.
Oh
eh?
no.
I had a pen up here, and oh, there we go. Delos, you are in Amric's bedroom. You've left some graffiti behind on the walls. What? Can you remind me of what message you left there for him?
Yes. Um, yes, I can read exactly what I wrote. It was, Miracle will have your soul. His knife will strike you from the shadow. Long live the Lord of Bones.
Why don't you make a? Well, actually, you have, as far as you've turned over Amric's bedroom, and you don't believe that there's anything really of significance to find in here. What would you like to do next?
Well, if all the guards are gone and I feel like I've searched the room, I can't find anything else, I would go to Thalmara's room
Okay.
and help Sylvie.
You make your way out of the door into the halls. And why don't you make a perception check for me?
You got it. Oh, got me all scared. I feel like I missed something important.
As you're as you make your way out into the halls, you can see that the guards have dispersed. It appears as though they were not being paid enough for hauntings, but you do hear a crashing sound as the animated suit of armor Sylvie hops down off the little platform that it was standing on and makes its way towards you. Its long sword raised. The orange glow now that is permeating the inside of the armor, just kind of casting a hellish look about the room, filling it with this orange red light. And, it's kind of all the plates of the metal suit are adorned with different visages of demons and devils, and this elaborate kind of not curved, but jagged blade on either end kind of gleams in the red glowing light pouring out from the suit of armor as it comes towards you. Lumbering forward, it makes two swipes at you. The first one being a natural 20, you take 10 slashing damage.
No.
Oh no.
As the full weight of it kind of crashes down, it bumps into Thalmara's desk, kind of making this grinding noise of the wood against the stone floor, and that's what you hear. Dolos, why don't you make a initiative roll for me as well? You don't have to select your token, just roll it in the chat.
Oh,
As
okay,
the
okay.
suit of armor makes another attack against you, Sylvie. This time it brings its sword down and kind of hunks off a piece of the edge of the table as it swipes past you.
Oh my god.
Dolos, you hear these sounds and you make your way in. You see Belmara's powder room, and you can hear the commotion coming from the room to the south. And it is your turn here on the soft turn order.
Okay, then Dallas is gonna head over to that room.
Shit, I just kicked myself out of the game. My power's gone to my head. I've banned myself even.
Oh no.
Do you guys hear the in-game music at all?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's weird. It kind of comes and goes for me. I gotta figure that out. You see this the side of the suit of armor animated now in conflict with Sylvie as she just barely dodges one of the swings of its weapon. Sorry, it's
Oh shit.
moved up a little bit here. So you come in kind of right behind it, the full broad back facing you. There's like a embossed golden face of a devil on the back of the suit, with these smoldering, glowing red eyes that meet you as you enter.
Oh, that's not good. Dallas just takes out his rapier and just attempts to hit it.
Ooh.
You
Fancy one.
pull out your rapier and you try to strike at the back of the suit of armor, and your rapier just kind of glides off, not even like leaving a scratch in the metal, as you
Oh wow.
do no damage.
Oh, but
Okay. That's not good. Oh no. Shit. Okay.
Anything else?
I can't do. No, that's my turn.
Okay. Sylvie, go ahead.
Okay. Can I use my stars, unlike my robe, to cast magic missile, or do I have to be able to have a 5th level spell slot?
No, you can cast it from the robe.
Okay,
Yeah.
cool. I'm gonna pull off one of the stars and throw it at.
Oh, that's so cool.
Are you just using one of the stars?
Yeah.
Okay. So I think it's just a 1d4 plus 1 for a magic missile. You can roll it yourself if you like.
Uh, yeah. 1d plus 1.
If you want, you can even just drag magic missile onto your character sheet from the compendium just to make it easier to cast. That way you can like upcast it if you're casting it at higher levels and stuff like that.
That's awesome.
Yeah. You go and pull one of the embossed stars off of the cloak. As you do, peel it, you find this little magical mode of light between your fingers, and you just toss it out. It kind of proliferates into a bunch of little bolts of energy that all strike the armor at once, and it takes 5 force damage.
Okay, so magic could hurt it.
And well, let's do maybe 2 more rounds with you guys up here, and then we will go down to the money in the basement. So, the suit of armor, not just continues its assault against you, Sylvie, trying to kind of push you back into the corner of the room. Kind of this mindless assault. Your AC is 14 at the moment.
Yeah.
Its first slashes down, and the sharp edge of the blade catches you for 5 slashing damage. And then quickly it kind of does an underhanded slash, right? Following up behind it, and you take 8 more slashing.
Oh no.
No.
Blueberry. Blueberry.
Dolos, you're up.
Yes. Delos is going to cast Healing Word at 1st level on Sylvie.
Your
And
soul.
then just I don't know if you would allow me to like get past it. Just or make a check to try and figure out what the hell this thing is.
Well, right on the other side of the... you can make an Arcana check if you'd like. You know, you've seen this statue, you know, this suit of armor many times before. But maybe Dolos didn't necessarily know that it had these capabilities. But
I don't think he would have.
I think you would know, Delos, though, that this is some sort of magical construct that often, you know, is made by wizards of particular power. They can be animated suits of armor created through magical means. This particular one, you know, is maybe a little more powerful than the standards animated armor that might be laying around. This particular construct is called a helmed horror, and it is
Okay.
of infernal design.
Of course it is. Okay. Yeah, I think Delos would just try to get to the other side of it, and then
Yeah,
after
there's
healing
like
its
a
wound.
spiraled, an iron spiraled staircase there, right between you. Well, right on the other side of the helmed horror, and there's enough room around the backside of the spiraled staircase that you could squeeze around to the other side, no problem.
Okay, yeah, I think that's what he would do. Sorry, my whole thing is glitching out like crazy.
Oh, no worries. Do you want to just be like directly on the opposite side of him?
That works. But yeah, that's my turn.
Uh, Sylvie.
All right. I'm gonna pop in a healing potion first foremost. No dying today. And then I am going to. Okay. Um, I'm gonna earth tremor. I actually know that's gonna make too much. Um, we'll try a firebolt at him.
21 does actually hit, um, but as you cast the bolt of flame, you see it kind of like the inner glow of the armor flares up brightly. Um,
Oh
you don't
boy.
believe that that the fire has any effect on this magical construct. But why don't you both make perception checks for me?
Alright.
Okay.
Sylvie, you hear like a mischievous little cackling sound. And you kind of look up in the spirals of the staircase above the helmed horror's head, and you can see something like floating in the air. It's like a little piece of parchment that's kind of bobbing up and down. And you hear just like another mischievous little cackling noise. And you kind of see like a little sprinkle of magical energy as a red-skinned little imp appears, flapping its wings above the helmed horror's head, kind of like dangling the scroll that it's holding in its hand above you and Dolos.
So rude.
Then the armor makes 2 more attacks. It pulls its sword back, and you see like the imp stick its little clawed foot out and like hook on to the edge of the blade. And as the arc of the suit's armor's coming back of his weapon, the imp kind of like pulls the blade and with his toes into like the space between the bars of the railing of the spiraling staircase, and it gets kind of like jammed up in the curved. And as he swings down, his sword's not in his hand anymore, and it's kind of hanging between the bars up behind him because he rolled a natural one.
Oh, thank you, Imp.
Can I
Okay.
befriend this imp?
And
Can I
Dolos, you see this now. This little creature flapping its wings up in the air above the armor, kind of in the spirals of the staircase, and you recognize this is just one
Uh,
of Thirstwell's little minions. But he seems to have brought the two of you a gift.
okay. I think I look up at the imp and I'm just like, Teddy, what the fuck?
He's like grinning at
Anything.
you. His sharp little teeth are exposed. The grin looks more like a kind of a menacing smile than some happy thing, but he kind of chuckles, and he like holds it out and then like takes it back, like he's just playing a game with you.
Dolos begrudgingly goes along with it to try to grab the paper
Yeah,
while just cursing an inferno
make
at
a
this.
make a sleight of hand check.
You got it. I don't like cats and I don't like imps.
Yeah, even though these are Thirstwell's minions, they still have minds of their
No.
own.
Oh my god.
The imp seems to be more now engaged in the game that he's playing with you than actually handing over this helpful object that he's brought, likely on Thirstwell's behalf. But
Could I attempt the sleight of hand?
I would say on your turn, yes.
Okay.
What would you like to do, Dolos?
I still have my action, right? You wouldn't
Yeah,
just
no,
hand
that
that
was
to
just a
me.
check I was having you make. Yeah.
Okay, then yeah, I would once again cast Healing Word at first level on Sylvie,
Your soul.
and then just leave it
Okay,
and just
good.
try and grab this parchment.
You see, Dolos starting to play along with this imp that's got this piece of parchment and rolled up in his hands, Sylvie, and I would say you could like use your cunning action to maybe like give yourself advantage on this roll.
Okay.
Kind of like as the imp's distracted by Dolos, and you could make a sleight of hand check with advantage. You snatch the little parchment out of the imp's hands. He's kind of like holding it down and he's getting ready to just as Dolos is like gonna reach out for it, snap it back, but then you grab it out of his hands. He kind of like turns towards you and hisses like he wasn't expecting that, and then he kind of winks out of existence.
I stick my tongue out at him.
Fuck you, Teddy.
Just
Fuck
as
you.
just his head kind of reappears and he sticks his tongue back out at you, and now you have this little scroll that the imp has brought.
Maybe.
Do you understand Infernal?
I do, in fact.
Nice. This is a magical scroll written in Infernal, a scroll of Dispel Magic.
Ooh.
And I would say that you could cast the scroll with a DC 13 Arcana check.
You can do this, Sophie.
Alright. Turn on the minute.
You mumble the incantation, and as you do so, like the edges of the parchment begin to catch fire, and when you finish casting the spell from the scroll, it's not much more than a pile of ash kind of fluttering down to the stone floor beneath you, and when you finish casting the spell, the suit of armor's infernal glow grows dim, and it becomes lifeless as you dispel the magic of that was animating the suit with the scroll.
Oh, thank you, Sophie.
Now at the
Man,
top
I
of
did not
the
see that coming.
normal turn order, beneath the villa, you and Tanawak Rayleigh are still engaged with these two spined, leathery creatures in the dark basement at the bottom of the stairs of the kitchens. One of them, one's in front of Tanawak there, makes 2 attacks with his little fork. Its second one piercing Tanawak in his abdomen for 6 piercing damage. And the other one flicks one of its tail spines at you. I believe a 14 is going to miss you, though. Or does that meet?
That meets. That meets.
You take 3 piercing and 5 fire damage. And, let's see, this guy's down to 7 spines. And from the darkness, it flicks another one at you. You hear it kind of clatter against the wall right beside you. And you can see its little burning eyes looking at you from behind the pillar. Tanawak will use his spear. That doesn't seem right. He's doing really bad damage, I guess. But he should be getting some... It should be plus 1 of his modifiers. Oh, he doesn't have any strength. Okay. So he takes 1 damage. And, you're up.
Okay. So I will start by just attacking the number 2 directly in front of me.
Yes, the one in front of the 2 of you is bloodied, so it's at least got half or less of its HP left. The other one is not quite there.
Gotcha. Well, I would just do that with my longbow, so at disadvantage. Ooh.
I don't want to punish you too badly because you're down there all by yourself, so
No.
I'm just going to pretend like I didn't see that for now.
No.
But you try to shoot the one there in front of you, and you've found yourself now in a couple of situations where your back's against the wall, and you have a brief thought that maybe soon you should invest in a melee weapon of some kind eventually.
Probably. And then I think, I'm sorry, I'm like having a brain fart right now.
No worries.
Drinking a potion is a bonus action, right?
Yes. Yeah, you can drink one as a bonus action.
I will do that. 2d4?
Maybe I'll do that for 2d4 plus 2. Maybe I'll just do that retroactively for Tanawak here. Because I don't want things to get weird all of a sudden.
Gotcha.
Because I believe everyone has 1 healing potion at the moment, so both of you just burned yours.
Okay. Sounds good. So 2d4 plus 2. Okay. It's my turn.
The one in front of you there prods Tanawak for another 6 piercing damage. And the other one fires 2 more spines. One of them hitting you for 4 piercing and 4 fire.
Okay. Ooh, that hurt.
Let me just check out Tanawak's spells here real quick. It's Hand of Radiance. Each creature within 5 feet must succeed on a con save. Okay, It's kind of cool. He has sorcery points too. What is his chosen? Distant and twinned. Okay, I think this is probably a good time for this. He's going to use a sorcery point to twin guiding bolts. And
Ooh.
he will shoot one at each of the demons. Because things are starting to look a little desperate here in the basement. So the first creature in front of the two of you just gets consumed by a flash of green light as the guiding bolt just kind of blows up in his face. And the second one strikes the devil behind the pillar for 12 radiant damage. Let me just double check and make sure this creature is not vulnerable. Okay. And bloodies the other demon, or the other devil. You hear it kind of hiss and shrink back a little bit behind the pillar as it curses under its breath at the sting of Tanwak's divine energies. And you're up.
Okay, another random question. So with the guiding bolt giving advantage on them, since it's in the dark, do I just get like a straight roll, or do
You can no, you can still roll with advantage.
Okay.
Yeah.
Then
You
I'm
can see
going to
kind of this lingering green hue illuminating the creature.
let me loose that arrow.
That's good.
You hear kind of it thump to the ground behind the pillar, its spines kind of scraping it against the stone floor, and the burning embers in its eyes grow dim, leaving the basement dark and still for you. Tanawak would probably say something clever, but I won't. And I'll make sure that I spend the appropriate amount of sorcery points here. Spend a number of sorcery points equal to the spell's level, which is 1. Okay, cool. And the two of you are left in the dark basement here. I can briefly re-describe the surroundings of the room for you if you'd like.
I would like to first light a torch real quick,
Yes.
just so I can see better.
Let me do that for you.
Okay.
Does that help?
Yes, it does. Yes, it does.
I'll plop a couple down here so you can just see everything.
Okay, cool.
And I'll remove this turn order. Give me a sec. I think someone might be at my door.
Okay.
Okay. I got worried that you guys were gonna die.
I was about to go down, so I'm very lucky he fudged those numbers a little bit for me. Oof. Man.
Okay, sorry about that.
You're good.
Oh, you're all good.
It's all good.
So besides the debris from the crates that these devils burst out of, this room you're in is about 10 feet high. It is fairly immaculate for what at one point or another was a part of a sewer system. It's very clean. You see the floor is stone tiled and the walls are made of brick. And this room you're currently in is sort of a food stores of sorts. You see these barrels strewn about the room, as well as more crates and things. Guess you could make some. You see two doors leading out of the room as well, one on either side, and
I guess I would like to listen to see
yeah. Why don't you
if
go ahead and
any
make
of the noise we made.
Why don't you go ahead and make a perception check for me?
Okay.
You don't hear anything except for maybe the sound of trickling water coming from this direction where this door is here. And you can also see like a faint green glow under the small crack in the door, which I believe is made of riveted iron plates.
And this is the same door with the dripping water sound?
Yep, you can hear a trickling sound of water, and you can just barely make out a faint green glow coming under the door.
I don't want to speak too loud, but Tanawak, are you okay? That was kind of a rough fight.
Yeah, Tanawak says, I need to maybe spend a day with Captain Lightheart learning how to swing this thing a little better. As he's kind of like leaning on his spear. He says he doesn't, even though he's got like a couple little pokes from the devil's little forked weapon, kind of little trails of blood dripping down his bare chest here and there. He says maybe we should get back together with the others before we go any farther. Who knows what else could be down here after fighting these things.
I was going to suggest the same thing. That was a little tougher than I expected. I think we should relocate with the others.
Yeah. So you guys kind of just head back up the 15-foot spiraled stairs into the kitchens.
Okay.
You make your way kind of back towards the central area of the villa where the others went up the stairs when you split ways.
I can't remember the name of the cat right now. I gotta look through my notes. But did we pass that cat in the kitchen again?
Yeah, it's still sleeping on the countertop. Just a little raspy. There's like a pile of drool in front of its mouth that's kind of lolled over on the countertop. Its body's like barely rising and falling as its ragged breaths are being, with some effort, drawn.
I will leave them be.
You guys find that the guards have departed from the villa, and then you can hear the voices of Sophie and Dolos.
Quickly and quietly head towards them.
Yeah, sure.
You guys okay?
Barely.
Yeah,
I think we all
this
kind of got our
hunk of
asses
metal.
kicked.
Oh, wow. What was down there?
Cat. Some barrels. And some winged devil things. I don't know. Weekend beasts. Are you
Oh,
guys okay?
no.
Oh,
I mean, I'm fine.
I got knocked around a bunch by a walking thermostat.
Why is a thermostat?
I don't know.
Okay.
Whatever this thing is.
Whatever this thing is.
Sylvie, were you able to check out Dalmara's bedroom?
Couldn't find anything. At least in her
Okay.
powder room. I think I went in her bedroom. No, I think I just went in the powder room.
Okay. I checked out Amrick's room. I got a signet ring, but that's about it. Any important documents I think he might have in his person. So,
Thalmara's study here.
We never went in the drawer.
Yeah, the oak writing desk has a matching chair. There are 2 black candlesticks on top of the desk. There are 3 bookcases, and of course the suit of black plate armor. The wrought iron spiral staircase that leads up. Above the 2 of you, there's kind of a trapdoor at the top of the staircase there, and you can kind of feel this room's actually a little cold, despite the suit of armor there, and there's a bit of a draft coming down from the top of the spiral little staircase there through the trapdoor.
Sylvie, you said there was a drawer?
There was a locked drawer. I was going to lockpick it, and then a giant tin man over there came after me.
Oh. Well, if you want to check that out, I can see what's up here.
Alright,
Okay.
sounds good to me.
Honey, you can come with me.
I was just about to say it. Don't think we should break up again, but I will come with you.
It's just a level difference. It'll be okay.
Okay. I will follow you.
Thank you,
My bow
buddy.
drawn.
So yeah, you could make a
And
a sleight of hand check with your thieves' tools if you'd like. The lock on the drawer of Thalmara's desk in her study seems to be particularly well made. And you try for a little bit with your thieves' tools, and you don't even seem to be able to budge make any progress in getting the lock open. You know, many locks, like in desks like this, would be kind of loose or jiggly or a bit janky, but this one seems quite firm, solid.
Could I potentially take one of my million daggers that I have and just kind of try and carve my way into it?
Yeah, you want to try and just like pry the drawer open?
Yeah.
Yeah, you could make an athletics check. You'd stick the blade of one of your daggers in. You kind of wedge it in there fairly well, but you're not really able to get enough of the blade in to get enough leverage to force the drawer open.
Thinking that like that the one cartoon character who's trying to get like the sword out. He's using his
Yeah.
like brute force.
Yeah.
Sylvie, do you want some help with that?
Yeah, maybe just a little bit. It's not working so well.
Okay.
I think
I mean,
that suit of armor dinged me a little more than I thought he did.
well, if it worked last time, I can always try to lockpick it.
Okay, here you go. Give him my thieves.
Okay. Let me try.
Yeah, you can make a sleight of hand check as well.
Okay.
You just completely forgot how to use them.
Yeah, I'm like, what is this? Oh,
Yeah, it seems like
Yeah.
whatever Dalmara has stashed away in here, she's taken some precaution to making sure that it is difficult to retrieve for anyone who does not have the actual key to the drawer of the desk.
Maybe the key's upstairs.
it could be upstairs, it could be in a bedroom. I truly don't know. Do we all want to check up here and then go check out the bedroom? Or what do we
Yeah.
want to do? Okay.
Completely agreed. Completely agreed. All together.
Okay, funny.
I feel like we should take caution going up those stairs, though. It doesn't feel right.
Yeah.
Something doesn't
I think we'll
pair
be
well with
okay.
me.
I have faith in my ability to protect us.
I praise your confidence.
You ascend the spiraled case of stairs, about 15 feet, and you can just push open the trapdoor. It's not locked. You come to a square room, much like the one below, with crisscrossing rafters 10 feet over your head. And there's kind of a peaked, pointed roof above the rafters. You see an empty bookcase on the west wall, and there are two filthy padlocked cages standing on the floor. Each cage you see holds a human prisoner and a chamber pot. And both of the humanoids in these cages seem to be sleeping. Let's see. Oops.
I just want to listen for any sounds besides the sleeping.
You can make a perception check if you'd like. There's windows all around the room, letting the air from outside flow in. From here, at the topmost point of the Vanthampur's villa, you can actually kind of see from the tower out over the upper city from every side. In the now later hours of the evening, the upper city is fairly quiet. You don't see many people out and about. You don't hear anything, Rayleigh, that would cause you any alarm. Maybe just the sound of a couple of pigeons above you softly cooing in maybe a small bird's nest that's been made on top of the tower.
I think Delos is sort of like looking at their faces, trying to see if he recognizes either of these prisoners.
You can see in one of the cages is a human female. She seems to be kind of wearing some kind of like maintenance uniform almost. Like maybe she's a sewer worker. Kind of a brown, full-bodied, burlap jumpsuit almost. You don't recognize her. She's kind of plain looking. She's got brown hair in a ponytail. Maybe in her late 20s, early 30s. The person in the other cage, I think maybe you might recognize them. It is a human male. He's got he's kind of a little bit overweight. He's got like a balding patch in the middle of his forehead. Otherwise, he's got kind of wispy, kind of like darkish red, brown hair. His face is like lightly freckled, and he's dressed a bit nicer. You recognize him as a tax collector who had been giving the Vanthampurs a hard time.
Oh, yeah, that guy. I remember him well. Well,
I'm gonna go over by the sewer worker lady, just kind of poke her with like the hilt of my dagger.
She kind of startles awake. You see her kind of cower into one corner of the cage and like peek up at you from behind her hands, and she like kind of looks up and she says, I don't recognize any of you. Where's Duke Thalmara? Have you come to kill me?
No, of course not.
yes.
I'll pull out a water skin and offer it to her.
She looks kind of frightened by the mixed messaging. Her hand kind of like, she thinks about it for a second, but then her hand like trembles as she reaches out and takes a couple of thirsty pulls from your water skin. She says, been a couple of days since anyone's checked on us. I was beginning to think that they'd forgotten about us altogether. Can you let me out of here?
What's your name?
Why are you in there?
She says, my name is Shailene. I'm a maintenance supervisor who's trying to head up some efforts to extend the lower city's sewer system into the underground spaces occupied by the dungeon or the area below the steaming nymph. And
Okay.
One day,
You
Emmerich
just
and
saw the sea.
one day Emmerich and Mortlock showed up in my offices and clubbed me over the head, and I woke up here.
Good idea. Probably a bit messy, but
They say what they plan to do with you?
They intimidate me, I guess. Kill me at worst. I mean, I know better than to speak out against one of the Grand Dukes, especially a woman like Thalmara. I suppose she was just trying to intimidate me into abandoning my mission to expand the part of the sewers that I was working in. Her mission has succeeded. I have no intention of pushing any farther for that expansion of the space beneath the upper city. I will forget all about it. I might.
Could I? Oh, sorry.
No, go ahead. It's okay.
I'm gonna say, could I do an insight check on her?
Sure.
Ooh.
She's telling the truth. You don't sense any hint of deception. She seems genuinely afraid.
Okay. Is the cage doors padlocked, right?
Uh-huh. Yeah. Yeah, you imagine
There
that,
any?
she was kind of probably just going to discover some of the stuff that was going on beneath the steaming nymph, and so Dalmara sent her sons to make her disappear for a while.
Okay. Is there any way to pick the padlock?
Yeah, you can try to pick the padlock.
Okay.
You
I
go
don't know
and
how to use my tools.
you go and you find that the padlock is quite rusty, and you just don't seem to be able to get enough force behind your tools to manipulate the lock at all.
Sell us a hand?
well, if that's the case, let's just get his rapier out and get in an attack position.
Oh.
Yeah, you could just try and bludgeon the lock off.
Oh, I didn't mean the lock. I
Oh.
meant the prisoner.
No. We should help her.
No. She's telling the truth.
I know. That's why. She found out things she was not supposed to, same with this tax collector. They either should be left here or they should die. If they know stuff and they get out, they can warn people, they can inform other people, and that is very bad. The less people who know, the better.
I can't get behind that.
And
I think we need to let them go. I want to pull Dolus aside. I feel like I think we need to let them go, and maybe.
at least,
I mean, maybe
at
you can
least
threaten them,
Pharaoh,
but yeah.
tax collector, he can stay here.
Too rich, as
Okay.
they say.
Too rich.
She says,
If you really want,
she says, I haven't found out anything. The Dalmara's sons just showed up one day and knocked me over the head and brought me here. I think it's just because of some of the plans I was making for the sewer systems.
If we let you out
and
here,
if go ahead.
I was just gonna say, we let
Oh,
you out of here, you have to make sure you do not say a word or look any further into this,
She
or
says,
someone will probably be after you.
She says, I imagine after this somebody's going to be after me one way or another. But at least if you let me out of here, I'll have a fighting chance.
Dolos is going to let his head down and show the full head of himself and look at this prisoner and be like, if you tell another soul what you have experienced in this house or what you were planning or saw, you will die.
You see her, like... You see this look on her face, like, of confusion, and like she wants to ask more questions. And she thinks twice, and she just says, I promise that no one will ever hear from me again.
Sylvie, your tools.
Hand them over.
Thank you. Let's try and get this lock open.
Yeah, it's just too rusty.
All right, I've had enough. Sylvie just takes her dagger to ram it.
Yeah, make an attack roll.
Okay, all right.
You take your dagger, and you kind of smash the top of the lock with the hilt, and the kind of rusty batch of the hook just kind of like bends a little bit, and you're able to just kind of jiggle the rest of the lock loose, and it kind of comes apart, and the bottom piece kind of clunks to the floor, leaving the cage unlocked. The sound of you busting the lock kind of wakes the other prisoner up, though. He kind of opens his eyes. He kind of trying to kind of like look to see in the dark up here. Says, who's there? Better not be another one of you imps. I'll wring your neck.
I'm just going to kill this man.
Okay, go for it. He's kind of
I don't stop him.
prone on the
I
ground.
don't believe in tax collector.
Unless if anyone has any, he'll just.
Oh my gosh.
Dolos, you turn, and he's about to say something else, and your rapier just kind of slides into his neck, and there's like a gurgling sound in the dark, and you hear his body like fall back against the metal bars of the cage.
Oh, finally.
You got some issues, dude.
I got issues?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
I guess like two things I want to do. I guess during that I would like to reach my hand out to help out the girl. And I guess maybe somewhat secretly, just like when I reach out to pick her up with my hand or whatever, like have a gold piece in there, and then kind of tell her to. I think we kind of came through towards the stables to. That's the safest route, and then I want to turn to Dolos and say, "What the fuck? He wasn't doing anything."
He knew. When the
So he
Vanthampur
deserved to
locks someone
die?
up, it's for a good reason. You won't let me kill her, I have to kill him.
But didn't he deserve a chance just as much as her? To at least escape?
Collector.
No.
Curly, why don't you make an
If
insight?
I had it my way.
Insight?
Yeah. Go ahead, Dolos.
Okay.
Oh, I was gonna say, if I had it my way, they would both be dead. Or at least locked in the cages. If anything, it's a mercy.
I think just giving them the chance. to escape.
Well, what do you think is worse? Letting them not have the chance and either end their pitiful existence, stay in this cage where they belong, or give them the chance and have them fail?
Even
You
the
saw the
maintenance
gods we
worker?
killed out there.
Even
If
the
she
maintenance
runs out
worker,
there and
though?
she gets caught, if the maintenance worker runs out there, she will see all the dead bodies. I know she is terrified. But if she speaks even a word to someone else, it will not be good.
For me, that's a. Oh, man.
You know,
I
if you want to have
appreciate
a
you giving her the
conversation about
chance. I
ethics
appreciate you.
and morals, I'd be happy to talk to you about it once we're out of this accursed home.
Okay.
Now,
Yeah,
Curly,
We'll
this
table this.
doesn't seem like a place for a heartfelt conversation.
um, now, Curly, you might not be able to glean this information, but I'm asking just because I'm personally curious. Is Dolos acting in, still kind of in his position as working for the Vanthampurs in kind of trying to protect them, or is Dolos acting more in a sense of just pure self-preservation?
I think his intention was for to try and work for the Vanthampers, but I think after the guards debacle and now this, it's a matter of self-preservation. Because his face is shown and she saw it. I think that was his big worry. It's a metaphorical and literal sense of his mask is down.
Yeah. But is there still a part of Dolos's that's hoping to still be in league with the Vanthampurs?
Yes, it's more of the matter of it's more a matter of not working for them, but I guess you could say overtaking them. 'Cause I think he's realized he's gone too far. I think he thinks he can still get some sort of power out of it.
Okay.
Like a bargaining chip of sorts, if
Sure.
that would make
Yeah. No,
sense.
for sure. Yeah. Um. You guys are in the tower of the villa, and you have come here in hopes of finding some more information linking the Vanthampurs and Thalmara more directly to the attacks on the city from the cultists. And so that Captain Lightheart can bring that information to Older Ravengard. Some form of direct evidence, because they can't just go accusing them of things that they can't prove. Being Thalmara's position as one of the other dukes of the city. And so far, you haven't turned up anything too much, although the presence of devils here in the villa is unsettling. You know, you've all seen some terrible things at this point, but I don't know if any of your characters have come face to face with actual devils up to this point in your characters' lives. And that seems to be what's lurking, at least in the cellars of the villa. And that might mean that you kind of learned from Mortlock that Dalmara has been making deals with devils and helping the cultists make deals with devils in the city. So maybe that presence of the devils themselves is evidence enough, but you don't believe that it's, like a smoking gun or anything, and you still don't know everything that lays beneath the villa, but for the most part you've explored the villa itself and haven't turned up anything that really ties the Vanthampurs to the cultists or anything of that nature. And as you're up in the towers, you find that if you've got a couple hours left in the night still before you probably need to get out of here. So you have to kind of decide, because you've now had a bit of a scruffle, if you want to take the time to take a short rest, or if you want to just try and continue to uncover the mystery in the bowels beneath the villa itself.
Tabling our conversation for later, Dolos. Tanwak and I did find a couple doors down in the basement area, food storage, and one of them was a thickly clad iron door with a bit of a glow green emanating. We chose not to progress by just the two of us, so...
Something up our alley.
Good idea. Do I know where that leads?
It's a part of the tunnels beneath the villa that you haven't been to.
Okay.
You've really only below the villa been around the corner where Thirstwell's laboratory is, and you haven't. You were never allowed to explore the full breadth of what's down there.
Okay. Well, I'm not quite sure what's behind that door, but if you would like to find out, I'll follow.
You would know that the green glow is just likely from lantern light. The tunnels below the villa are lit by these green lanterns.
Okay. And I think those would just say, that. Yeah, there's like green lanterns along the tunnels.
I think we do need to get some more information, but I am pretty hurt. I do think we would need to, at least I would need to catch my breath. Short moment.
Do you want to go down to the food storage and maybe we take a little rest?
I agree.
Good idea.
I think the only thing that you guys didn't actually check out was Dalmara's bedroom up here. Yeah. There was one more room up here. So if you wanted to check that out, you could on the way down to the sewers below the villa.
Do we?
I just peek my head.
Oh, okay. You peek your head into the master bedroom. You see a hole in one wall where the dumbwaiter from the kitchen would come up to. You see a large canopied bed with a gossamer shroud around it. You see a freestanding wooden privacy screen, kind of like the thing that I have behind me, a room partition. You see a cast iron bathtub with clawed feet and a fireplace, and you see a padlocked iron chest, your arch nemesis. The padlock on the chest in her room is cast in the shape of a horned devil with a scowling visage.
Jackpot.
We have to try, Sylvie.
We have to.
Make
We
a.
have to. Both. That's going to give you bodic inspiration.
Okay.
Nice. So you can make a sleight of hand check.
Right. Mm-mm-mm.
Oh, thank God.
You fiddle with the lock, which is in the mouth of the uh, devil's head, and as you kind of get your tools in the right place, you twist it, and the horns turn down, and the lid of the thing kind of pops open. And inside you see 3 thin, black-covered ledgers. You see a set of calligrapher's supplies and a poisoner's kit. You see a pouch, a coin pouch made of sheep's skin. And you see a set of bamboo, wooden, sort of musical pipes. They have, along the trim, little rats carved into it.
Aw, cute. I grab the
Aw.
ledgers.
There's like a little, there's also like a little golden rat dangling from like a little hook by its tail on the top end, and like a leather strap to like hold it around your shoulder, throw it over your shoulder or whatever. You grab the ledgers. Um,
Yeah, Delos will read those with you.
they are all written in Infernal. And 2 of these ledgers are records of the Duke's legitimate business dealings. The 3rd ledger is just full of names. And in the cover, the inside of the cover, it just says Zariel's claimed souls. And it just lists pages and pages and pages of names.
Bingo.
Do I recognize any of them?
Mm, yeah, there are dozens of names of different nobles of the upper city. I think those are many of the ones you might recognize. You recognize the name of one in particular that stands out. It's actually one name in particular stands out, and you notice a lot of these names. A lot of these last names that go back quite a long time. You see Bernard's name in there, Bernard Petier, and you see many Petiers throughout time, quite a bit of time.
Do we know his sister's
Makes sense.
I don't think you guys know his sister's name, but you don't see any female names of the PTers. They all seem to be of the male side of the family, from the bloodline.
Okay.
Well, Sylvie, I can check out these names while you go look for these other two. Even legitimate businesses have illicit actions. As long as you read between the lines.
How long do you read for? How long do you read through the names for?
Oh, however long that Sylvie spends looking through her ledgers.
Can Krayley just be listening? Just continue to listen for
Sure.
any commotion or anything.
Probably 2 or 3 minutes. Not
Yeah.
super long, just like glossing over it.
Make a perception check. Then Dolos.
Okay, that's not good.
Yeah, you recognize many of the names of some of the noble families in the city, some living, some dead. You notice, in particular, Bernard's family name and Bernard's name. And there are just so many of them. There are many names you don't recognize as well.
Okay. I think after a few minutes, he'll just stash down his person and be like, I'll look through these more intimately later.
They do seem to be sort of in order of dates. There are little dates written, kind of penned next to every name. You don't know what that means, but as you go flip farther back, just gets farther back in time as you flip through the pages. Is it only the ledgers that you want, Sylvie?
Oh, I take everything.
Okay.
You taking the bed sheets? Put stuff in there.
Oh yeah, gotta put those in my my room
Okay.
back at the barracks. So,
I imagine that you guys will get these pipes identified eventually, so I'll just reveal them to you.
she really likes rats.
Well, you guys found out that before Dalmara became one of the dukes, she used to, for a very long time, she was in charge of the sewer systems beneath the city. You guys head back through the villa down into the tunnels. And once I get you guys over there, we will take our mid-session break.
Okay.
So as you guys come down, the rest of you see the combat that took place here between Krayley and Tonwalk and these devils. You see these leathery, purple-skinned creatures with spines coming out of their backs, laying lifelessly on the floor. Kind of a thick black blood pooling in little circles around their bodies, and it's still quiet down here. You're not necessarily confident, but you take the opportunity for a short rest, which could have sort of began once you started speaking with the prisoners and things. So you're welcome to roll some hit dice if you'd like. I'll roll a couple for Tanawak here. And we'll take a quick little 5-minute break.